but the presidential race is already heating up. The Daily Guide is talking about that. Brian Achampon's popularity surges, but then the bigger story is about Ken Ejapon leading NPP flag bearership race with 51.4%. That's not the outcome or the verdict of the process. It's actually according to a survey. So it appears that over the last few days, a lot of people have been polling, doing their own internal checks as to what the delegates might decide. And this is one of them, aside that of the Global Info Analytics. So this is another survey which is pitching Ken Ejapong at 51.4% as opposed to Global Info Analytics 20 plus percentage points. Ablekuma North parliamentary elections, NPP rejects.
Let me just say something. You know the best pool.
Yeah.
On the day of the election.
That's when you know the real outcome. Definitely.
So we would know.
Yeah,
delegates.
It's coming. It's coming very soon. Very soon. NPP rejects EC's rerun. That's for the Ablekuma North parliamentary race. Then Boahen loses national security accounts fight. It's all on the front page of the Daily Guide.
Now, if you go to the daily graphic, implementing no fee stress, 15,000 fresh students reimbursed. President Mahama launches policy. Now, whilst we are paying school fees in Ghana with the no fee stress policy for students schooling in our public universities, we have hundreds of Ghanaians stranded across the world. Hundreds of them. I've seen emails sent to some of these students in the UK, in the US. Basically, they are telling you chrome because you have an obligation to study in this country and pay for your studies and your accommodation and everything, and you are not paying. And these people were given the assurance by their government that they will use our taxpayers' money to take care of them. Why do we do things and not plan appropriately and plan our cash flow and plan like we need to manage everything like a project? So why do you take your children of Ghana abroad to go and study? Right? And you leave them stranded. Who does that?
Can you imagine?
Who does that?
We'll share these stories with you later.
No fee stress has been launched. I want to hear from the Minister of Education. I want to hear from Ato Forson, because Ato Forson is now controlling the national purse. What are we going to do to assist these? And there's a scholarship secretariat. What are you doing for these students? Are you even writing to their schools to explain the financial challenges we have as a state and assure them that, look, let these students be, we'll reorganize and pay you? What are you doing?
In fact, I'm learning that there are some universities in the UK that would not accept Ghanaian students on Ghana scholarship because of the same thing you're talking about. So
the
debt levels are just
so
too much.
So that's the lead story. 15,000 fresh students reimbursed. But this morning we want to hear from the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Finance, even the presidency. Tell us what you are doing about our brothers and sisters who are stranded abroad. Now, other stories. This one is a good one. A Ban Akuma oil block declared commercially viable. So, Winston, you are going to get more oil revenues and more oil. And we are going to become a proper net exporter of oil. 24-hour initiative competitive tool. This is Henry Osei Akoto. And Zoom Lion sets foot in Kenya.
Okay, the Ghanaian publisher is also talking about that Zoom Lion story. The fact that the MD Joseph Siao Japan has secured some deals, major ones, of course, in Kenya. It comes with a picture of him and some other investors there in Kenya. Then there's the talk about U.S. investor Rudy Moyes, who's back in Ghana for business. So that's also on the front page of the Ghanaian publisher. Reku Brobe accusing me falsely on ECG losses. Guess who's speaking? The minority leader, Osahin Afenyuma.
Now the news center, Obasanjo to ECOWAS, reform or become irrelevant. This is a good call by Obasanjo. ECOWAS should reform or become irrelevant. Mahama government to complete the National Cathedral. Winston, you know what it's going to be when we complete it?
Yes, some
NCCCC. Yes.
Cultural Convention Center. Yeah.
I'll give you details about that. Now, there's this alarming story. 42 new HIV infections recorded daily in Ghana. 42 new HIV infections recorded daily in Ghana. Multiple taxes kick in on insurance, real estate, plastics, informal sector, etc. Elvis Darko has the details in the news center. Baba Sam petitions CJ over judicial abuse in custody case. And there's a photo of Alexander Kofi Mensah Mold, the CEO of the Millennium Development Authority. The story says, MIDA to drive Grow 24 with proven MCC models.
So the custodian also has the story on Baba Sam petitioning the acting CJ, page 2 of the custodian, over judicial bias, and it comes to the picture of the acting Chief Justice, Bafo Boni. Then Ghana-India ties deepen. Minority Lord's Prime Minister Modi's historic visit comes with a picture of Alexander Fenyumakin there, dressed like the Osaji for himself.
What's the Indian Prime Minister's name?
Modi. Prime Minister Modi.
You know, it sounds like Modi.
Sounds more like an FN name.
Everyone knows I'm a guy Modi.
Dr. Rekubrobe and Fenyumakin are still battling it out. You can't blame me for ECG's woes. I don't know why Dr. Rekubrobe appears to be so tough on Fenyumakin these days, but he says he must account. Whatever the case, come out, tell us what you've done.
And that is on the front page of the new publisher.
Yeah.
Fenyumakin says that he was appointed by His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on the 16th of July 2024 and officially sworn in as board chairman of ECG on 17th July 2024. So he was only board chair for about, let's say, for 6 months.
Yeah.
So he says, no.
I don't have to account.
Yes, the legacy issues.
Send it elsewhere.
Please say I am not among. So that story is on the front page of the new publisher. Parliament is also to sit on Mondays and Saturdays to be able to deal with all their legislative issues before they adjourn on the 12th of July 2025. Asabi wants NPP reformed before the flag bearer primaries. He wants the reforms to kick in before they go for the flag bearer primaries. And Roberts attack Chotro, shoot for passengers.
It appears the CD bond will be back in September because the finance minister appears to have some plans for that. So it's here on the Economy Times. Ghana plans resumption of issuing CD bond from September. So that's the major story on the front page of the Economy Times. Government to receive $370 million from IMF. And then there's the talk about some analysts and experts predicting a single-digit inflation by Q3 amid stress from utility price hikes. So these are some of the stories on the Economy Times.
Now, if you check the Today newspaper, Blackwell replies U.S. Senator. That this particular story trended over the weekend the last part of last week into the weekend, calls for removal of EC boss and deputies increase. This story has a photo of Kofi Bento, and we are told that there is the largest iron ore concentrator has been inaugurated in Liberia. This is good news. It means that within the sub-region we are going to get a lot of that particular material. Now, if you go to the BNFT front page, Zoomlion deepens African expansion with strategic partnership in Kenya. On bonds, $1.17 billion in Eurobond coupons paid since debt deal. So this is also on the front page of the BNFT. And AFDV, government signed landmark deal to develop the Volta Economic Corridor. And My Joy Online, Dr. John Appiah to lead clemency petition for Atuasian on justice and human rights grounds. NPP Minority Caucus marches to Ioko over Hanan's punitive detention. Engineer jailed for 150,000 Ghana cedi tipper truck fraud. And rising phenomenon of academic title fraud. Vice Chancellor's back GTech to pay system of all on end titles in PhD. Now, 2 people have been rescued after an early morning trailer crash in the Asante Achim Central area, and senior high school girl shot dead at Bimbila Fire Festival celebration. Winston, permit me to comment on this senior high school girl story. I have seen that these days, traditional events, even regular funerals of regular people, you see people holding all sorts of no, this is not your old mask. Now you're seeing AK-47s and all sorts of advanced weapons being fired at funerals, traditional events, festivals and all that. How did those weapons get into the country? Why are the police looking on when average Ghanaians who have had no proper training in handling these weapons and all are shooting these in public. I saw it. In fact, Kofi Adamawani's thing.
Yeah.
Right? It caught the nation. Everybody saw what happened to the young man. And we've seen people losing their lives because of these things. What are the security agencies doing about this?
Yeah.
What are the security agencies doing about this?
And also the Small Arms Commission.
There was a funeral in the north recently. The former president attended. Lots of the big people in the country, and the kinds of weapons I saw, and it wasn't like one person. It was like a whole troop.
Yeah.
What is happening?